stage, I think will be reiterated once these guys announce the stage again. But I just wanted to clarify that we'll be talking about some things that might trigger some people. So please keep that in mind.
We will try to what's the word? Like provide warnings before we talk about something, just so that you guys are aware, because we don't want to like trigger you or anything, because that would be not cool. So, yeah, we'll let you know. You can. Oh. We'll wait a few minutes just for people to be able to join. And then we will begin.
Yes, what Jitter said, if you need to go to sleep or anything, this is going to be recorded, so please take care of yourselves. And if you have questions, obviously, we're always open for DMs.
Yes.
Yeah, Dolo, which one of us was going to be recording again? I believe it was going to be you. I know a couple people from the crowd. I know a couple people from the crowd I spoke to who I know are going to be recording. I was going to post their VODs.
I don't think my. Hold on.
I can try and boot up OBS.
Yeah, try and see if you can boot it up.
Let me just leave everything real quick.
It's okay. Obsidra. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name, but it's okay. I forgive you. You're right.
I'm trying to figure out if I can record without recording my Discord, because I don't want to record my physical Discord.
You should be able to just record audio. Jelly, Dean, do you know how to do that?
I can do a recording. I'll just pull up something.
Sure. Or pull up Subway Surfers or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I'll do an LB.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, or just put a black screen. Also, I would like to apologize in advance. I have like a horrible cough right now. So if I stop talking for a few seconds after like a coughing fit, then like it's just like I'm recuperating myself. So just FYI.
Jitter is saying he knows how to record, so if you need him to do it, he can.
Yeah, Jitter, can you please record?
That would be great. I don't have the disk
Yeah,
space
please.
to record. I just checked.
Oh, I also don't have the disk space to record.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready, Jitter, and then we'll get started.
I have 2 terabytes, but no OBS.
Like flexing is wealth, isn't it? Like whatever.
Yeah, we pay this guy, by the way.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I know
grab it
people
off,
are recording.
grab it off Steam.
Oda, I know people are recording from the audience. I just want like there to be I want to make sure that there is a a full recording of everything, just so people.
Yeah, I don't want a situation where like someone says they're recording and we ask them, hey, do you have that recording? And they're like, ooh, sorry, blah 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 happened.
Yeah,
Because this is
we need the
something
Dolo
important.
cut.
This is something extremely important.
I don't want to be here for more than an hour. Mr. Not Jeff, or Mr. or Mrs. Not Jeff, or somebody else. Person, not Jeff. It's about some of the recent controversy. We're just clearing some of it up, and then yeah. When will a recording be posted? Hopefully after.
It'll depend. We're probably
Yeah.
gonna have to go in and review the recording and make sure that like
The audio is good. And
audio is good
touch your
and
ears.
that, or like someone that was recording accidentally leaked something about them. So we just want to make sure the recording is safe.
Yeah,
So it'll probably take a minute, but it'll get out as soon as we can.
We don't want them accidentally posting their bank account information. That'd be bad.
Yeah, not before I can get my hands on it.
Okay. You're so greedy. You're so greedy.
Sorry, I need to fund my addiction for Rainbow Six Siege.
Yo.
Can you fund my bills instead? Jesus.
No,
Why are you so mean to me?
I've never seen you play Siege.
I have it uninstalled right now because the last time I played Siege, I broke my keyboard.
Oh,
A very
beautiful.
expensive, it's very expensive, $125.
Oh,
Wait, is that the keyboard that you broke like semi recently?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember. I was in call with you while you were cleaning that up.
not the water keyboard, I assume.
There's actually no, it's not the water keyboard.
It was not the water keyboard.
It was not the water keyboard.
And the infamous Best Buy.
Wait, wait.
Yeah.
I found more keys on the ground from the broken keyboard.
Are you serious?
Yeah, hold on, let me clack them together.
Yes, Prairie. It is being recorded. Once Jitter sets up the recording, then we'll
Yeah,
start.
all of our terrible jokes is gonna get caught.
Oh yeah. We're gonna lock in.
Yes, I have. Yeah, to whoever just asked me in the crowd, yes, I have legitimately smashed my keyboard before.
Okay, you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. I've listened in on the deadlock calls, the rage that comes out of this man.
How did you guys find a way to bring up deadlock in the community meeting?
Okay. So,
Oh my.
Jitter, is your recording ready? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Can someone out there go and make a bingo for the community meeting of like what everybody says? Like we got the free space in the middle, and we have to have a space like mentioned deadlock once. Someone vague posts. Allusion to upcoming lore events.
Someone gets
Someone
bullied.
get a bingo. Someone gets bullied. It's gonna be you. I'm gonna bully
What?
you.
Why are you bullying me? What did I
Make sure
do?
there's a space for whenever we like talk over each other, because that's gonna happen.
Oh
Just
yeah.
Oh yeah, we need a space for the talking over.
It needs to be like
you have
four
to talk-
fucking
faces.
chat cooldown as a dev. That's fucking crazy.
Oh,
Thank you for recording Commandant of LARP, my successor.
Thank you, Commandant of LARP.
pronounced commandant.
Karma, should I download Deadlock? Do you enjoy having peace and joy in your life? Because if you do, then
Dude,
don't.
no, you're the only. You guys get mad at it. I get mad at it sometimes, but it's fun.
Okay, the amount of times I hear you guys like rah in call, and I'm just sitting there like that one gif. I gotta find it again.
I need.
Is it like the shadow of the two parents fighting?
Yes.
Yeah. That's about
Oh,
what
somebody
it's like when
posted it.
Billy plays.
So, did
Yes,
somebody
thank
post
you.
it? Yeah, that's what spectators in the Deadlock VC feel like.
Yeah, exactly that, Dizzy. Exactly that.
It's literally scary sometimes.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Are you ready, Jitter?
Okay, I'm shutting up now.
Alright. First of all, good afternoon, evening, and morning to everyone. Welcome to the community meet. This is the second one, I believe, and this one's not going to be as jolly, joy, and whimsical as the last one, but This needs to be done, just so people are aware. If you are not already aware of why we are here, recently, over the past few months and weeks, there have been controversies surrounding Zone Nadir as a group and community, and we are here today to provide some insights into these controversies, clear up some misinformation, and most importantly, take accountability for the things that we did wrong. To start, just to kind of list some of the things that we have been accused of. We have been accused of racism, nepotism, ableism, and sorry, one moment. And I think that's all of it. Okay. So I'm going to start off by talking about probably one of the most passed around. Yeah, nepotism and favoritism are kind of the same thing, Billy's. But I'm going to start off by talking about something that has been probably passed around the most on TikTok, which is the Bush ticket. If you do not know what the Bush ticket is, there was an interaction with a lore character named Major Kaskrin, who is the second in command of the Corporate Rangers, which is like the security guys on site. And during an event, a bunch of Rangers were lined up, and Major Kaskrin walked up to one of the Rangers and made a comment about their hair. So at the time, the Ranger was wearing a afro, and Major Kaskrin called it a bush. So to start, Tycho, please mute your mic. I can hear myself in the background of you. Thank you. Anyway.
It was Bruce.
Anyway, to start off with that, the comment was not made out of malice. Major Kaskrin in that situation was meant to imitate a drill instructor from like the United States Marines or the United States Army. If you've ever seen a movie like Full Metal Jacket or Jarhead, and you've seen like the drill instructor scenes where they make fun of you for how you look, like for instance, your nose, why is your nose so big? Why is your neck so long? Why are your eyes so blue? Something like that. It was meant to imitate that sort of scene. The problem is the actor for Major Kaskrin chose the wrong thing to make a comment about. The comment was not made out of malice. It was, unfortunately, an ignorant comment made. Now, somebody who was concerned about this had opened a ticket. And in this ticket, Hammer made some comments that could be seen as racist. These comments where he referred to the afro as quote commonly referred to as a bush ? That was not a comment made out of malice. That was a comment made out of, it was a mistake made out of ignorance. He did not know that what he was saying would offend somebody.
Okay.
Heimer, go ahead and speak on it if you would like to.
I would just like to clarify that how I handled that situation. I didn't exactly do a good job with that. I didn't exactly mean to be racist. Simply, everything I've said was out of ignorance because there were accusations against a law actor of racism, and that's a really serious accusation. And I really wanted to help de-escalate the situation, but I did not do a good job. I was not aware of what's it called texturism at the time, and from my knowledge, I did believe that a bush was another way of saying for referring to an afro, because that was from the movies I was watching. So I genuinely had no idea that was a bad thing to comment on, and I sincerely apologize. I don't know what else to comment on, but I made sure to go directly to the person who was commented on for the hair, and I made sure that they weren't made uncomfortable. but I do understand how, with all the screenshots of how I handled that situation going around, I understand how that would have made some people uncomfortable, and I also sincerely apologize for that. And from that point on, I really regret what had happened, and I'm really just trying to move on. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry.
A bit of a correction, I think. Not to you, Hammer, but just in general. What was it? The actor in question was not Major Cashgrin. It was apparently Sentinel Bruce, I believe. Either way, yeah. As for Laslane's comment, this is true. There were 2 tickets made. The first one was immediately closed by Snowy, who is not a member of moderation, and they were told never to do that again. Because they should not be getting involved with moderation affairs. The second one was the actual ticket where things got to be discussed. Yes, Snowy is our development head. They are not moderation. I believe I can't really speak for them in that situation, but I believe they glanced at it and just kind of went off of it. Or just kind of thought it was, what's the word? They didn't think much of it. But when it was actually handled by moderators, it was talked about in the ticket, obviously. I do want to take this time to, not really a troll ticket, Miss Nepo. Just kind of, they didn't think much of it. They were, Snow is not a mod, basically, and they shouldn't have done that. So, I'm going to take this time to also talk about the lack of POC characters in the game. We are actively working to create ways for actors to create their own POC characters. Pretty soon, I want to introduce a system for actors to be able to change their skin tone, hair color, hairstyles, just general, what's it called? Like changes to the outfits to make them a little bit less generic. Hopefully soon you'll be able to see more than just generic nameless Ranger number 3. Hopefully in the near future, I'd like to say before the survey. Yeah, kind of like customization for actors, yes. A bit more personalized instead of generic Ranger number 18 that you will see die randomly to a Resilience Grunt. Karma would like to say a few words on that, so I will give the stage to Karma.
Hello. Hi. So I'm Karma. I am one of the archivists, if you don't already know who I am. Something that people don't know about me is because of the fact that I am an archivist, is that I am one of the main developers for Nadir. I handle everything from the construction of the maps, set designs, and I also handle the development of models and stuff like the morphs, which morphs being used to refer to the individual characters that are used in the game. So someone originally made a suggestion about the skin colors and the lack of skin colors that had been, like the lack of variety that had been represented in the game. And I went ahead and I answered. So at the time, when the original suggestion had been made, I think it was prior to the current iteration of morphs. I was the only morph modeler at the time, and I still am the only morph modeler for most major generic morphs. The majority of individual designs being made by a couple other people on the team for their specific characters. What people, I feel like a lot of people have not understood, similarly to development, is that development is not as easy as flipping a switch to, say, make a character that was a ranger character that is black and making a character that is white or Asian or whatever, whatever their ethnicity may be. Especially for generic morphs, which generic morphs are made for multiple actors to use. They are intended to be nameless or to be given a generic name to differentiate them from other actors who may be using a similar or the same morph. As Dolo said, we are currently working on having a script for actors to be able to customize on what their. Sorry, I'm reading something from the stage chat. So currently we are working on a system for actors to be able to customize aspects about their morph that they're using. This will be anything from faces, skin color, hair color, minor accessories, and the likes. The reason that so little variety has been given to the generic morphs is not only because of a lack of actors, meaning that we have a shortage of actors right now, and so the majority of generic morphs being used, we never see the entire roster of generic morphs that we have right now being used at the exact same time. So that's why generic morphs have not been expanded upon, and we have been focusing on more individualized, unique morphs for specific characters. A few characters like that example are Sentinel Dan, what's another one? Veteran Trooper Domingue, morphs like that, which are just generic morphs, which have a permanent name attached to them, and they have a completely different design from other characters. So in the future, we will have that system where we'll be able to utilize actors having a variety of skin colors, but as of right now, the generic morphs are likely going to stay in the way that they are until we can have the proper development resources to work on them. We already have a wide variety of POC characters in the game. I can't remember where I put the thread of images that I had for them, but I would just like to sit here and dispel the idea that we don't have POC characters in our game, or that we are in some way, shape, or form being racist and intentionally excluding them from being represented in the game. We have a number of POC characters, and I will post the screenshots. No, POC means person of color. For that person who asked in the chat, POC means person of color or people of color. It is used as a term to describe anybody who is not white, if I recall correctly, who is not ethnically white. So people who are like Hispanic, people who are black, stuff like that. Yes, Domingue is one of the POC characters. A couple other examples are the Commandant, Diamond, Captain Rhodes, not Lieutenant. Chambers, yes, Dr. Chambers. So someone mentioned in chat, they mentioned Yale, and I would like to be very specific on that actually. So characters in no way, shape, or form, like player characters, characters that are owned by individuals who play in the community, are in no way, shape, or form limited or forced to use any specific skin color, species, whatever. We are rather open with how we allow people to represent themselves. Mostly because it is very easy for a player to craft their own character because it is just their own Roblox avatar, whereas morphs for lore characters and generic characters are very difficult to construct because they take a lot of development effort for each generic morph to be made.
Can I start
I think that's
speaking
about
to-
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
that's about it.
I do want to bring up one more thing that Kuno mentioned, which was the environmental reasons comment about not having a lot of POC characters. This was very old lore where we were originally going to have a race of people that had lived on Cryos for generations. And because of their lack of sun, they were not going to have melanin in their skin. That is why very early actor morphs had gray skin, like gray pale skin, because they were A, meant to be as generic as possible, and B, meant to represent that all of the people working on that site were natives to Cryos. Now, we've obviously retconned that because it's just bad writing. It's boring. But it also just kind of very limited. It limited us in what we were able to do. Like, we have been able to make so many more unique characters with as of recent. So I'm going to move on from this conversation unless anybody else has a question relating to it. Yes, Castle is Hispanic.
If it's okay, I would like to add something.
Sure.
I do just want to make it clear, like Dolo has already said, we are working every day to put more inclusivity into the game. I want to state that a lot of us came into this with a pretty good team, and right now there are not very many of us. And a lot of us are tired because we have been working kind of nonstop. And Lore Team has been acting, they've been deving, they've been writing, and they've been dealing with tickets to help with moderation. We're all stretched very thin. So I just ask for your patience. We are working on it, and I promise that you will be seeing it in the coming days, weeks, months, etc.
Can I actually add something?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll say, character development is relatively difficult and slow. We want to ensure that every single character is as realistic, as entertaining, as representative, and just generally interesting as possible. So we put a lot of effort into each individual character. There are POC characters in development. There are POC characters we've released. It takes a lot of time for us to get these out. We want to make sure that we are not offending anybody, that we are not doing anything wrong, and we put a lot of effort into it. So like even before this controversy occurred, we've had a lot of POC characters in development, and we hope to get those out as soon as possible for more entertainment for you guys. And if you have any concerns with that, if you want to see something represented that we might be missing, please contact us, and we will always make an effort to do so.
Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to be moving on to the next topic of discussion. If you have any questions about things that we've gone over so far with the Bush ticket and some of the lack of POC characters, you are free to either open a management ticket or reach out to a member of a lore team individually, and we can try and talk to you guys about this. Moving on. There is a old resilient sympathizer server called the Northern Star server that split off from Nadir. It was a resilient sympathizer server. What happened was they did not tell us they were splitting off from us, which, if they want to do that, that's more than fine. That's their community, not ours. But they banned Hammer without any notice, which caused us to send a moderator into the server to see what was going on. There's really not much to touch up on here. They decided to leave, so what was it called? Sorry, I'm trying to use my brain. They decided to leave without telling us. There's really not a whole lot to say about that situation. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next talking point. There have also been some screenshots taken of another ticket of Hammer asking a 13-year-old about if they were going to therapy or not. So to start, this 13-year-old had been on our game doing suicide roleplay or self-harm roleplay. Sorry, I forgot to do the trigger warning. I'm so sorry. But if you aren't comfortable with topics like this, then I would suggest you deafen. I'll send a message in the stage chat when we're done with this part. But this person had been doing suicide and self-harm roleplay on Zone Nadir. So they were banned, and they made a ticket. During this ticket, Hammer had asked them if they were going to therapy. This was a question that Hammer asked out of genuine concern for this person, because we were a little bit worried that once this ticket closed, they might hurt themselves, and we wanted to make sure that they had the proper resources to go to help process these emotions. Zone Nadir is not a place where you should be trying to process this. You should be going to counseling. This was an overreach by Hammer, and he has acknowledged that. If he would like to speak on it himself, he may. but it was genuine concern that he asked if that person was going to therapy. The ban reason was also mislabeled. It said this person was underage. No, that was not why they were banned. They were banned for the suicide and self-harm roleplay. And they were subsequently removed from the community. It was mislabeled by a moderator, I think, that carried out the ban. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was overall a complication, and a lot of the context was removed from those screenshots. I do admit I was fully wrong with the Bush comments. I have learned about textualism. I have moved on. Again, I would like to reiterate that I take full accountability. I was wrong there, and I do not intentionally mean to make anyone uncomfortable. So from there on, I just learned, and I'd like to reiterate that again. But with me talking to a 13-year-old, that was worded in a way that made me seem predatory, which I do not appreciate. And as Delosis mentioned, I was talking to them concerning these behaviors, and I was really concerned for their mental health, because no 13-year-old normally should not be talking about those kinds of things. So, and that was in addition to a lot of other things I was talking to about them, which I will not bring up here, but I would like to clarify that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it was an overstep. Yes, absolutely. And Hammer has taken accountability for that and has apologized. But he is going to do better. We as a team are going to do better. We were genuinely concerned for that person, because anybody who does that sort of roleplay on our game, obviously they will be removed from the game and banned, but we want to make sure that they are still safe, because it's important for people to be safe. Of course, that's a given. I'm going to tell everybody, if you were definitely for the
Is it okay if I add something? It's not sensitive or anything like that. It's just a general thing.
Sure, Nibby.
I noticed that a lot of you guys do spend a lot of time on Nadir, and while we are very grateful, please take care of yourselves. Go to sleep. If you miss things, I promise you the Lordlings got you. They log everything. And also, if you miss something big and you have questions, also you can reach out to us. Please do not be here if you need to take some time to yourself, if you need to sleep. Your mental well-being is very, very important to us. And like Hammer said, he was coming from a place of concern. We are all concerned about you. That's why we're even here today.
Okay. I'm going to move on to the next talking point. Juniper situation. So there was, or I think this is not. There was a situation where someone had been getting accused of being a predator or a groomer. People had opened a ticket and requested that this person be banned. The issue is, when they opened this ticket and we're asking for this person to be banned, they did not provide any evidence. We need evidence to be able to act on things. Calling someone a groomer or a pedophile without any evidence can ruin their life. They can get fired from their job. It's that's why we want evidence. We put the what's it called? We put this person on a watch list just in case. So moderators are still watching this person to ensure that they are not doing anything that would, put people in danger. But if you believe that somebody is a danger, or that somebody was in danger, or somebody is doing things that they really should not supposed to, yeah, you can record the stage. It's being recorded anyway by Jitter. if you know that somebody's doing these things, you please reach out to us and please provide evidence so that we can actually take decisive action. Like, it's very important that when you approach us with such a serious concern, that you have screenshots, maybe recordings, anything like that. We need that to be able to take decisive action. Even if you don't have it, still bring it to our attention. We will put them on a watch list. We will monitor them to ensure that they are not doing the things that you think that that you say they are doing. The most important thing, what's it called? Anyway, sorry. What was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. But just bring it to our attention. Just so even if you don't have evidence, even if you feel uncomfortable by something, please open a ticket, a safeguarding ticket, or a regular ticket, depending on what it is, and just tell us about it so that we can watch this person. Community safety is the most important thing. We want people to be able to enjoy the game and the story safely. And even if you think something is small, it could be bigger than you think. So that's why even if, like, please just bring things to our attention. We will always listen to you. We always talk to you. Communication is the backbone of the world. It's important to talk to people. You do not solve problems without talking to someone. It's the only way to solve problems. So just please reach out to us. Is it allowed to? All right.
Can I add something?
Go ahead, newbie.
I have done a lot of safeguarding because I've been in communities prior to this one. And it's not something that's ever easy. I want to remind people on behalf of the adults, especially because I know there are a lot of adults that are scared right now on the internet. If you falsely accuse somebody, it can ruin their life. They can lose their job, they can lose their home, they can be ostracized by their family, their friends for something that isn't true. So when we're asking you for proof, it's not because we inherently don't believe you. We walk into each and every situation treating it as if it is a real situation, but I don't want to spread information that's not true. I don't want to ruin someone's life if that's not the case. And I've watched it happen to people I have been close to in the past, and it's not fun. And we want to keep everyone safe. Adults, minors, it doesn't matter how old you are. We want everybody to be safe and feel accepted here. Obviously within reason. we don't want unsavory people to feel accepted here, obviously, which is why please do come to us. If there is a misunderstanding, we can work it out. We're never going to hate you for coming to us with a concern.
Thank you, newbie. Moving on to the next thing. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Some people have been concerned over the community standards and some things in the contract, which appears on your screen the first time you join. Some people were concerned about not being able to represent their disabilities in the game. If you will give me one moment. Actually, Karma, you can go ahead and speak on this if you would like.
Okay, so hi. One of the main issues that I've seen people go on about are a confusion of certain terms or regulations that they do not understand. So I'll touch on those. And additionally, there have been some concerns and allegations of ableism towards the team because of the phrasing or because of the representation of the in-character employment contract that surveyors are required to sign in order to, in character, be at the site. So before I go into the ableism thing, I will start off by addressing the community standards, and I can explain some of the terms that I know that people are not very knowledgeable on. Now, if you guys are free to join me in what I'm doing here by opening up the community standards document and traversing to Rule 18. Which is the fail roleplay rule. If anybody needs a link to the community standards, you can find it in our information channel, and I've posted it in the stage chat. So Rule 18, which is fail roleplay, is defined as a blanket term to describe any behavior which ruins the immersion, realism, or the established rules in a roleplay community. Specifically here in Nadir, a couple things that I can touch on are immersion and realism. So immersion is essentially how immersed, how involved a person feels in the setting and environment that has been set in a roleplay game. So something that would break immersion, for example, is if let's say that you're playing a fantasy roleplay game and someone from the year 2026 shows up with an AR-15. Now you would think to yourself, wait, that's not very realistic. That's ruining my immersion. Because you're playing a fantasy roleplay game, you expect people to abide by the fantasy standard that is being enjoyed there. And the same thing goes to apply for realism. In Zone Nadir, especially, since we are a rather realistic roleplay community, we are trying to give people a modern sci-fi setting, and that is the sort of environment that we're trying to immerse the players into. When certain people join the game and they have characters that are unrealistic or concepts that are unrealistic, things that are unfriendly to the lore that we've established for the game, it's concepts like those which can be considered fail role-playing. If you go through the rule of fail roleplay, you can see that there is a couple of categories underneath it, which explains a number of variants of fail roleplay that you could use to help increase your knowledge. So, for example, metagaming. A lot of people that are put in, when they are in the game and they are put into a cutscene, in the past, people believed that their character was allowed to know that information, use it, and act upon it, which that is not the case unless it is explicitly clarified. Things like cutscenes or images that you see on Discord of in-character actions and interactions between people, to utilize that information, although your character has no way of knowing how that information came to be, has no way of having obtained that information, will be considered metagaming. So the best thing that I can offer to people who are not the most familiar with fail roleplay and other things like that in the community standards, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or any other member of the lore team, whether it be an archivist, a lesser archivist. You are free to ask questions. You are free to ask for clarifications. When I first introduced the community standards, after writing them, I added the glossary as an attempt to give people as much information as possible. But I also encourage you guys to make suggestions about things that could be added to the glossary, elaborations to be made upon the rules, anything that you guys think will help people who may have not known information, whether that had been someone like, if you were in a position where you didn't understand something and you had it explained to you, and you think it would be beneficial to put that explanation in the community guidelines somewhere to help someone be knowledgeable and avoid them getting into a precarious situation with moderation, then you are free to make those suggestions. Now, the other topic that I would like to touch on in this same thing would be... Sorry, 1 second. I received a ping. I apologize. So, as I was saying, the second topic that I want to touch on is the ableism allegations and the things that people have been saying about our community supposedly not allowing people to have disabilities. So obviously, I'd like to first start off by saying that that is not true in any way, shape, or form. We have multiple representations for disabilities, both in what player characters are allowed to do and how we as a lore team write lore characters to help represent some of those disabilities. A few examples that I can give off the bat is characters like Erebus and Dr. Chen. Dr. Chen being a researcher who is selectively mute, they communicate through sign language, and Erebus being paralyzed and not able to move without the assistance of their exoskeleton. So the main concern regarding ableism was when players began to read the contract and were concerned that the segment on medical fitness and eligibility was entirely ruling out anybody who is not considered physically fit, which I can read out verbatim what the actual contract says. So bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and read through it. If you are curious on reading it yourself, if you can't hear me well, then you can open up in-game, whether that be the main server or a secondary server in the VSA contract, the medical fitness and eligibility section. So in the contract, it is described as all applicants seeking employment as a surveyor must successfully complete a medical evaluation prior to acceptance and may be subject to periodic reevaluation throughout the duration of their employment. Individuals may be deemed ineligible for acceptance if they possess medical, physical, or psychological or neurological conditions that substantially impair their ability to safely perform assigned responsibilities. Disqualifying conditions may include, but are not limited to, terminal illnesses, conditions or conditions with a significantly reduced life expectancy, severe physical impairments that prevent independent mobility, significant bodily disfigurements, injuries, or abnormalities that hinder operational effectiveness, chronic conditions that substantially reduce endurance, awareness, perception, or decision-making ability, or any condition determined by VSA medical personnel to present an unacceptable operational liability. The VSA reserves the right to suspend, reassign, medically retire, or terminate the employment of any surveyor whose physical or mental condition deteriorates to the point that continued service is no longer considered viable. Medical eligibility determinations are made solely at the discretion of authorized VSA medical personnel. So, the first thing that I'll start off with is that I apologize, I was reading a DM. The first thing that I'd like to touch on is that first on who you are playing are going to eventually go into a dimensional. Yes?
Yeah, you cut. Did he cut out for y'all too? Yeah. You
Okay.
gotta repeat what you had said.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. Okay, we get it, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
can you just clarify real quick where I cut out at? I apologize.
You were just about to get into the shit. What were they about to get into? God, dude,
We were talking about disabilities.
Did I finish reading the contract?
The contract, yes.
Okay.
Oh, you were talking about the D1 survey.
Hello?
Yes. So, as I was saying, so the majority of players, both new and old, have only experienced the inside of the facility. And I would like to make it very clear that although the facility is where a large swath of players have spent their time, in the future, there are going to be dimensional surveys in which surveyors are going to have to go out into volatile and potentially dangerous environments where they would be expected to be physically fit so that in case of danger, they would be able to move to a safe location without being placed in harm. So the main thing being is rather the simplification that I could put it in is that the VSA is not going to send disabled people into an environment where they cannot be 100% sure that they could reasonably survive because of their disability, because that would be cruel. So let's say that, for example, in the next dimensional survey, there is a flying monster that will eat up anybody who moves too slow. If we were to send somebody into the survey with a wheelchair, we would be putting them at a direct disadvantage, which could result in their death. And that would be cruel, not only from an in-character perspective, but also from an out-of-character perspective, because we would be forcing that person to have their character be lore killed because of something out of their control. The best allegory that I can say for disabilities is surveyors, to an extent, should be treated like you were signing up for the military. Not any specific country, but just a kind of generic military standard of, are you physically fit enough to do your job? The rule of thumb that we have used so far in order to determine whether certain people with disabilities, whether they be physical, mental, neurological, all that stuff, the rule of thumb that we've been using is that if you can't do your duty that you have been given to in the contract, then the VSA would not have hired you. And obviously there are certain aids and assists that players could be given if they have certain disabilities in order to be allowed to continue working for the VSA. So, for example, in the case of a surveyor who was blind, they could theoretically be given an aid or an implant that would help partially restore their vision and assist them in conducting the job that they're trying to conduct. And if a surveyor cannot operate, even if they have that assist, or if they refuse to use some sort of implant or aid that would help them work, then they cannot be hired because they cannot fulfill the contract. And furthermore, something that I'd like to make very clear is that we are always open to hear people's concepts. We want people to be creative if they think that they can come up with a unique way to have a disability that they would like to portray, or maybe a disability that they themselves have and would like to see representation for in the game. You are always welcome to make a management ticket and speak to a member of lore team and basically ask us, hey, I want this disability to be represented in game, either via lore character or via my player character. And I have an idea on how you guys could do it. And we will entertain that topic. We will speak with you. We will throw ideas around. We will try and work with you to make it functional. But there are some conditions which are simply incompatible with the job that surveyors are expected to do. And I understand that that is not the answer that a lot of people may want to hear. And personally, as an individual, and I know I can speak for the entirety of the team when I say on this, is that we are definitely discomforted by the fact that we cannot have representation for everybody in the game. It is really difficult to balance the equal representation of most disabilities when trying to, on the same hand, establish a realistic roleplay that is based off of what is essentially military standards. And so, while we do try and make as many exceptions, and we try to make as many different things for people to represent themselves for, it can definitely be difficult. That's why we always encourage people to reach out to us. So I'm seeing a lot of people chatting in stuff, asking about like what disabilities are allowed to be represented, what's illegible, what is not ineligible. So like I said, the rule of thumb that I have established with the rest of the team that we've all agreed upon is, once again, if you cannot complete the conditions of the job that you signed up to do in the contract, then you can't be a surveyor. If it's an accident before your arrival, then you would not have been hired at all. And if it is an accident that occurred after your arrival, or if it's something that occurred after your arrival, then you would likely be medically evaluated and sent home. Excuse me. I cannot, off the top of my head, say exactly what conditions are eligible and ineligible. It really is a case-by-case thing. We would have to have you guys come to us. I just have a cough hinge. It's fine. It's on a case-by-case basis. So if you have a condition which you think would result in an ineligibility, then we can have you guys open a ticket and you can discuss this. Yes, Jinx. If you have a character idea with a disability involved, which might be ineligible, then you are more than welcome to open a ticket. We want to discuss these things with you guys. As a matter of fact, I can actually reference a recent ticket where someone approached us with an idea, and I'm not the most familiar with what the idea was. But what I do recall is that they had a disability which we originally considered to be ineligible to be allowed in the survey, and they proposed a very unique idea of having some sort of medical auto injector that would only have to be refilled every couple of months to ensure that they are constantly receiving the medication that they need in order to remain a functional individual and remain within that clause of being able to complete their duties. And it's stuff like that that we are like extremely like I don't know how to word it very professionally, but I'm gonna be honest, I just love stuff like that. I love it when people come to us and they're like, hey, I have this really cool idea for a disability so that I can represent it without breaking the rules. And they come to us and we talk to them. So you guys are always open to do that. And I do apologize if I'm a little bit of a broken record here, but I want to get the message across very clearly that these are things that you guys can talk to us about. We have a blanket ban on a lot of things because a lot of people end up misrepresenting or utilizing certain disabilities as a way to just how do I word this? Some people just end up tacking on certain disabilities or certain conditions simply for the sake of having them without actually doing the research necessary or having the experience necessary to properly roleplay these things out. And it's because of stuff like that that we want to avoid as much misrepresentation of these things that we require people to come speak to us directly. If my character ends up needing assistance ability-wise, example, needing a prosthetic, who would I go to? You could directly go to a member of medical. For example, Dr. Chambers, one of our lore characters, has assisted a number of both surveyors and employees in getting implants and prosthetics and other medical tools and aids and assists that help them continue doing their job. One of our biggest examples of this would be Suited, for example. If you don't know who Suited is, or well, rather Seraphima, they're a sentinel within the Corporate Rangers who was wounded during a resilience attack. And they, as a result, lost both of their legs. And they were taken into surgery and they were given prosthetic leg replacements, which allowed them to not only retain their original mobility, but also be aided in their mobility. And it's stuff like this which players would be... We would still allow you guys to do stuff like this as long as you come to us on good terms, you communicate with us effectively, and you don't just show up with a character that's against our rules and say, oh yeah, I want to do this. The biggest thing I always say is you guys can always communicate with us.
To add on to that a little bit, even if you like, no matter what it is, if you want to try and do something, because I saw somebody asking about Surveyor Combat LARP and how that like kind of pushes their character story forward. If you want to try something, open a ticket and ask us to help you, or ask us if you are allowed to do that. Because the reason we have a blanket ban on Surveyor Combat LARP is it got so bad to the point that like we were constantly having to lore kill people that were like killing other people in lore, and it was just like so exhausting and just didn't make a lot of sense. So if you want to punch somebody, oh,
Can I speak on this? Because I dealt with a lot of this, like a lot of it. If that's okay, Dolo.
go ahead.
So, as a lot of you guys know, I play characters that deal with this a lot. It became the reason why this is blanket banned is because it became literally not even just an everyday occurrence, it became an every like 15-minute occurrence. I would be online trying to further the story, trying to give people more information about the world, interacting with surveyors, making meaningful conversations, and have to stop what I'm doing because John Smith over there is holding a sign that says asterisk bites asterisk and won't leave somebody alone. And this, I would get 17 reports within like 2 hours. That's insane. And it is incredibly tiring to deal with. It is incredibly overwhelming. It overwhelms the medical staff. It overwhelms the rangers. It overwhelms people who do stuff for the Bureau. Just in general, it's not fun. And it clogs up a lot of what could have been good roleplay. And on the topic of ableism, somebody mentioned autism and ADHD, which, since Dean asked me to touch up on it in DMs, I will do that. I have both. I've been diagnosed with both. I'm not going to show you my paperwork because that's very personal information. But I do have the paperwork. I guess I could show you my meds, but I don't think you want to see that. They're boring. They're just little white dots. But you can have autism and ADHD. As someone who has it, it does not necessarily, like, obviously it can hinder your abilities to do some things, but ADHD can be medicated. I am medicated for it. Autism, you can learn to work around it in a lot of ways. I'm not saying that it's easy. Obviously, I know that it's not easy. But if you want to represent these things, please do so in the correct way. Because I have noticed a lot of misrepresentation, not just of ADHD and autism, but of BPD and other disorders, anxiety, depression, etc. And it's not just like stressful for people around you, but it's insulting. Like, people with autism are not stupid. They're not baby childish. Please do not represent us like that. People with ADHD, not all of them are hyperactive, crazy, do whatever they want because they're impulsive. Like, please just take the time. If you don't have the illness, I would recommend either not making a character with it or severely researching what it is actually like first. Because, like I said, I've seen a lot of bad representation, and it's not just me that I've been upset by this representation. I've gotten DMs before where people were upset. So that is all I have to say on the topic.
I want to bring up one last thing about this that Carmo does mentioned in the chat, but I'm going to bring it up on the stage so everybody knows. Therapy is not, like, therapy roleplay with medical is not allowed. It still exists in character. Surveyors are entitled to counseling. It just happens off screen. So if your character needs counseling, for example, they would just like get counseling off screen. Now that's obviously not going to be a fix to all your problems, but you can say in character, yeah, I'm getting counseling from one of the doctors in the surveyor dormitories. Because it still exists. It's just that it's such a slippery slope because there are people behind these characters, there are people behind the screen, and I don't want anybody participating or doing this therapist alert because nobody here, I believe, is an actual licensed therapist, and it can very much stress someone out of character with these sort of talks, and that's not something the lore team necessarily wants. It's a slippery slope, and that's one that we are trying to avoid. We are going to move on from this now into some concerns some people have over some safeguarding and how we've handled it. when it comes to safeguarding, there is a specific reason we do not release evidence attached to safeguarding cases. And that is for one predominant reason, which is to protect the victim. Even releasing censored images, like censored the PFP and the name of the victim, can very easily like go down a rabbit hole of people trying to figure out who this person is, like the friends of the perpetrator trying to find out who the victim is so they can go harass them, or people who are genuinely concerned for this person trying to reach out to them and check on them when it might be something that the victim does not want to talk about. It's very important for us to ensure that the person doing the bad thing is removed from the community and to protect the victim. When we have to release safeguarding information, like if there is a very serious case that we have to people need to be in the know about, then we will do that. But so far, I don't think we've had a reason to, simply because we keep most of the safeguarding things on the down low so that you guys can just enjoy the story without having to worry about pedophiles or groomers or doxers. There's not much to say on this. I don't want to be too transparent with safeguarding, simply because, as I said, we need to protect the victim first and foremost. And so long as the thank you for the boost, cemetery. As long as the bad person is banned, and the victim is safe, then that's all I really care about. We're going to move on to the last thing on our list, which is a specific TikTok account that I want people to be aware of. Who is a past.
Before we
Go
get
ahead,
to before we get to that, can we address the data thing? Because I've heard people ask about that multiple times now.
Yeah. So if you were not aware, there were some doctored screenshots of data saying racial slurs. These images were provided to people by an old actor that we had fired. This is all in the announcement, which I'm just going to kind of go over again. But we had fired this person for, once again, where I'm about to go into another topic that's not great. So if you are sensitive to certain things, I recommend you deafen for this. But this person did suicide roleplay on Emery. They were doing cannibal roleplay on Emerson. It was completely unacceptable, which is why we fired them. This person, we also later found out, was a condo enjoyer, which means they go onto Roblox sex games, and a neo-Nazi, who frequently apparently dropped racial slurs. This person, who I will not name because I don't want to give them their 15 minutes of fame, decided to try and get back at us for firing him by creating doctored images of data saying racial slurs. I unfortunately don't have the original group chat where these like messages were doctored from. I don't think any of us have it, so unfortunately it's a little difficult, but this person's just genuinely disgusting. Like, it's so fucking gross. I really do not like that person. And that's why I've been so hesitant to comment on it, because I don't want this person to get any form of like acknowledgement from us. Yes, yes, Toby, exactly that person. That was them. Thank
Real quick, Dolo.
What's up?
I posted the image in the stage chat. If you guys are curious as to how easy it is to doctor or falsify an image, there you go. Like, there are there are applications on Discord that you can do it. There is ways to do it on Photoshop, Paint.net. It is extremely easy to falsify evidence against people, and it is very difficult to address these concerns until we actually are given reputable evidence that it did not occur. And stuff like that is really, really difficult to handle and tackle as they arise. A lot of people have shown the concern of how easy the situation was just brushed off, as people have been putting it. And like Dolo said, like Newbie said, and like I would like to reiterate, it's definitely a fault on our side for not communicating more clear. The reason why we my apologies. The reason why we did not go out and address the situation very proactively is because, truth be told, we were sick of this person. They had been trying to terrorize our game for a long time. They were responsible for leaking a number of information on the actor side. They leaked morphs. They leaked lore documents. They resulted in the significant alteration of lore and retcons that we had to do because of negative attention and negative actions that they took on our actor characters. We made the announcement on it and dismissed it so quickly because we knew how bad of a person this person was. And I would just like to apologize and say that, we should have definitely done our part better in enunciating and making it clear how bad of a person this person was to the general community, so you guys would understand we're not simply trying to brush it off. We just did not want to give any more attention than necessary. And the reason that we're bringing it up today, of course, is so that people are aware of these facts. They are aware of how bad of a person they are.
We only checked. We think they started using like the condo servers after they left. Emery is kind of a touchy topic. I don't know what we're gonna do with him. We'll figure it out. But we think he joined like the condo server stuff after he had already left, because we had checked like post like a few what was it, like last month that we checked and we saw it. So we weren't surprised, but yeah. I hope that clears up a little bit about the doctored images and how like easy it is to fake someone saying something. I hope that eases some of your concerns. We just really did not want to give this person attention because they are genuinely disgusting and abhorrent. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Dude, did I gloss over that? I'm so sorry. Some people are concerned about nepotism or favoritism, or people like being like Lore Team favoring certain employees or surveyors over others. Well, we as Lore Team have kind of a rule of thumb. If your character is like interesting and you like roleplay well, then most of the time you will get an interaction. What I've noticed is a lot of people have these fascinating and very interesting characters, and they don't approach lore characters. Like, I was acting yesterday or last night, and I was talking to people on a character, and some people had such interesting perspectives on like the VSA and the world that the character was living in. And I was disappointed that how do I explain this? I just wish you know what? Put yourself out there. All of you, every one of you. If you are too shy or awkward or anything, don't worry about it. We everybody here on this stage in the audience, we are all here to do one thing, and that is to roleplay. Don't in a minute, maybe. Don't be afraid of being cringe or corny or anything. Like, just put yourself out there. And it's not just limited to lore characters. Go interact with other surveyors, go interact with employees, ask questions. There's one character named Q&A whose literal whole thing is asking questions. All they do is ask questions. And that put them on our radar because they ask interesting questions. Because you know what? Today, if you see an actor character or an employee or something, go up to him and ask him a question. Ask them questions. Be like, what's your favorite like field of study? What's like the main thing of the ITF? How's progress on Artie doing? Can I help you? Like, I want. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just doing. I'll move on to that in just a minute. But I want people to know. And yes, please. What corporate just said? Don't be afraid if you don't have perfect grammar. It's okay. We're all here to roleplay. We're all here to have fun. Please. And I feel like what's up?
You might check in the group chat. Like scroll up a little
Okay.
bit because I had something I wanted to talk about on this topic. And I want to see if you're able to accept it.
I'll bring that up in a little.
But I wanted to bring it up.
No, that's my thing.
Get out of here, Jelly.
Get out of here. Anyway,
Our lore team guys.
I feel like a lot of the favoritism or nepotism thing will be cleared up when we actually release actor apps and get more actors into the fold, because then people will have more characters to interact with. I spoke to someone who had friends that were planning on leaving because they weren't getting or employed or enough interaction, and then that got completely flipped on its head when they suddenly became the centerpiece of a small little plot line because they put themselves out there. They presented a project to an experimental sciences member and it got noticed. Like, you put yourself out there. If you have an idea for like a project or something, bring it to sciences and see what they can do with it. Become a shadow. Just, man, like I want you guys, I want everybody to be able to have fun and interact with the oh, wait, what is this? Sorry, 1 second, guys.
Do you mind if I
Go ahead and yeah.
So really quickly, I'm so sorry to cut off Dolo here and shift the topic back really quickly, but really quickly, in return back to the situation with DataSpire and the images being falsified, it was brought to my attention that somebody had gone out of their way to compare the images that were falsified to a current plugin that imitates Discord 2025. This lovely individual went through and they were helping in assisting with proving that these images were falsified. I just wanted to make that clear to people. If I can get in contact with this person, I'm going to see if I can get this proof that the images were falsified, like definitive evidence that these images were falsified, other than just like the word of mouth that we've given you guys so far. And we can put it in an announcement in the future. Just so you guys are aware that like people have gone out of their way to debunk this stuff. So sorry to take the topic away for a minute. I just wanted to address that because I did want people to be aware of the fact that, you know, people have broken down these falsified images and found out that they are false. They have methods that I don't personally have, some other members of the lore team don't personally have, to investigate these things. And I'd like to also thank this person and also thank anybody who goes out of the way to assist in the discovery and what's the word? In discovering and proving that images are falsified. But sorry, go right back to it, Tola.
Okay. I'm gonna answer this last question from this Mad Grocery Fish. Hello, pizza emoji. About the imperfect grammar during roleplay, will this maybe lower the chances to be an acting staff, researchers, technicians, rangers in the future, or no? Actors have a bit of a higher standard when it does come to grammar. But as for employees, so becoming employed as your surveyor OC, we look at grammar, but it's not the main deciding factor. What we want is we want someone who is good at roleplay and has an interesting character. Like, if you have those two things, you're golden.
I will also say, even as a lore team member, you guys see how Erebus talks, bro.
Yeah, you.
My grammar is not always perfect.
I was just about to say, Newbie has a horrible grammar. This guy can't spell. This guy can't spell.
Hey, I have dyslexia, and also I'm autistic and ADHD. You cannot bully me, and it's Pride Month, so get out of here.
Mwah, love you. All right, moving on.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
But
I did want to add, like, again, you know, Erebus, I interact with literally everybody. I have talked to a lot of you. I have approached quite a few of you who I have noticed out of character being like, oh man, I wanna talk to Erebus, but I'm so scared. Don't do that. Just come up to me. Like, I understand it's intimidating, but like we are here for you. If you don't come up to me and nobody comes up to me, I'm just going to be sitting there doing nothing. Like, if I'm not expoing something or interacting with somebody, I am quite literally sitting there doing nothing. And Dolo can also attest to this as the character she plays. Because there are often times where nobody will interact with us and we're both sitting there doing nothing. So please, we want to
Mine
meet
is a
you
little
guys.
more reclusive, but you can still talk to her.
Yeah, and please, I really, really want you guys to talk to us. And that goes for any actor, any lore character. Yes, some of them are going to be jerks. Some of them are going to be reclusive. Some of them are going to be awkward. Every character is different, and that's what makes this game interesting. I find it more satisfying when you get to know a character that's kind of a little bit more reclusive. I think that is an achievement. So put yourself out there, because random surveyors get noticed all the time for literally just putting themselves out there.
Yep. So please put yourself out there. If opportunity does not knock at your door, build your own door. Reach out. Even if like Erebus is getting swarmed, wait for Erebus to not be getting swarmed. Like even though that like never happens, but try your best. We got this.
She was planning that quote for like a week.
So, all right, we're gonna move on to the last thing, which was that TikToker I was talking about. Let me find it. Hold on. So, there is somebody who is named Skitty or Skittish on TikTok, who you might know them more as Nat or Jules or Skittish with like 3 T's, Sabine. They have gone on TikTok on a pretty much hate rampage. This person was, and yes, this is a sensitive topic, really quick. So if it goes over racism because they are racist, but so if just be cautious. We'll let you know when that's over. So this person was banned originally. What was their original ban? Leaking, right?
No. Original ban was for toxicity.
Oh yes, toxicity.
Toxicity and harassment.
Yes. So they originally was banned for toxicity and harassment. They had gone through an appeal process and gotten appealed. And then they leaked the identity of an actor character, of an actor. So like basically who's behind the alternative account, and then got banned again. So they have decided to take to TikTok and start spreading hatred. Now they've thrown out a bunch of allegations without evidence. And one of their more recent posts on TikTok was their avatar beating up Karma's avatar. Very creative.
Ow.
Yeah, ow. And at the end, she called Karma a racial slur in the post. Can who has it? Who has it?
Do you need me to get the screenshot for you?
Yes, please. And
The screenshots are in the
spoiler
lore.
over it.
Yeah,
And
I'll make
censor
sure
the
it's spoiled.
slur. Censor the slur, please.
Yeah, sure.
But this person is a not very good person. If they're going on TikTok trying to say how awful we are and that we're racist, and then saying a racial slur, we are not racist. I just am, and I was a little in disbelief when I saw the video, and Karma's working on getting it out to the VC chat now, so you guys can see what was sent. Miss, yeah. If you look at the screenshot, that is what was sent, and yes, this person is white, so they were saying a racial slur. Yeah, don't open those if you are sensitive to that sort of thing, please. Thank you, Detective N, my goat. Yeah. All I'll say about this is if you are going to look at these videos and engage with them. Look at the evidence they provide, if any, and draw your own conclusions. Please. It's I don't want to go too in depth. No, Caden, they sent a picture of them themselves. Like once, like flipping someone off. They are white.
Yeah, I unfortunately I don't have the image anymore. It was
We're
in
not
their
gonna
watch
send it
list.
anyway.
Yeah, we would not have sent it anyways, just because regardless of them being a bad person, we are not going to leak that information about them. We're not going to leak any of the images. But they are white. They have sent an image before of them where their skin color was very visible. And I'd also like to add that this person was on a white. They were, yes, I was about to get to that, Mars. So even though they have said that they are mixed, or rather that they are um, otherwise somehow black and permitted to use that word, um, the belief that we're at right now is that they came up with that as a cover for their utilization of this word, because a watch list had been opened on them prior, when they had first joined the community, for hate speech, because they had been found to have been using such words before in the past. Um, and so after it was brought to their attention that they were on a watch list, they were not informed by moderation, or well, they were not informed by active moderation. But they were like warned that their behavior in this community would be strictly watched. That that behavior would result in them being removed permanently if they ever engaged in it in our community, or we had anything that was definitively enough for us to remove them outright. And it was only after the fact that they had been aware of this watch list, that they had been in the know that any behavior like this would result in punishment, that they came up with, oh, yeah, I'm mixed. So I mean, I can't speak for other members of the lore team. I personally do not believe the fact that they are that. I believe that they constructed that as a excuse for their behavior. But that's why I tell people to take it with a grain of salt, um, especially considering their behavior.
Even if they are mixed, I don't like that word. I don't think anybody likes that word, and really, I just, it doesn't have a place here in this community. Any form of slur doesn't have a place in this community, so
Uh,
it's not okay.
Additionally, I just had this. I just had someone bring this up to me. So the reason that we're touching on this, the reason why this person is having their name mentioned and they are being spoken about in a public setting, is because they have continued to reach out to people in this community. They have attempted to bypass their ban to rejoin the community. They have continued to leak things like actor identities and information that they obtained, to other people, and they are publicly making videos to slander the people that run this project, and even certain people who don't run this project, who are just members of this project. And that's the only reason we're bringing them up publicly, is because we want people to be aware of the misinformation. We want to make it like painfully clear that when you are going on TikTok and you are seeing videos and comments and stuff that accuse anybody of anybody, whether it be a member of the lore team, whether it be another member of the community, when allegations and accusations are slung about, people have to use their brains. They have to be very cognizant of the things that the information that they are receiving. They have to be always ready to take things with a grain of salt, especially if photographic evidence or video evidence is not provided. Because the most important thing on the internet is to be aware of your surroundings, to be aware of the information that's being provided to you. Education is the number one way to protect yourself from bad actors, whether it be in this community or in other communities. So that's why we had publicly addressed them, and we haven't publicly addressed other people.
I'm gonna go over one more thing. This wasn't originally on the agenda, but some people are bringing it up in chat, and I can see it, and I do actually want to talk about this. Some people have been taking to lore discussion to slander or harass characters or organizations such as like resilient sympathizer groups like Orchard or Salix. I just want to say that's not okay. Yes, you can disagree. You are open to disagree with like how a character maybe did something and provide constructive criticism or have like a constructive conversation about them, about like decisions they made or what their character's about. But blatantly just insulting like a character or I didn't know they were the same thing, Geneva, I'm sorry. Um anyway, but blatantly just insulting or harassing like these people who are putting effort into both their characters or the organization they're a part of is just not okay. It's not cool. It hurts people's feelings. Like, it's just not cool. Like,
Add on
in
to that
character,
too.
one moment, maybe. In character,
Okay.
you can hate them. Whatever, that's fine. But the moment it gets too out of character, it needs to be separate. People have gone on breaks because, like, how their characters were treated in lore discussion. You need to be able to separate in-character actions from the actual person playing that character. And if you can't do that, then you're going to be moderated. It's going to be treated as a rule. Treat people with respect. Treat them how you would want to be treated. Please. You are better than that. You are all better than that. Maybe if you would like to speak, then you may.
And this I also want to include for actors. We are people behind the screen.
Yes.
I personally have been very, very disheartened by some things because people take things way too far out of character. And I've gotten flat out insults slung at me for things I've done in character. And it does not make me want to come on in character and give you guys interactions. It does not make me want to be a part of the community. Just flat out being honest. You're allowed to dislike any character I have in character. You're even allowed to dislike them out of character. But slinging around hurtful comments and being spiteful or overly aggressive with how you do it, it's not acceptable. It hurts all it does is hurt people's feelings and cause animosity between people that really doesn't need to be there. And on the topic of Orchard, I'm one of the people who have been handling it the most in character. It is stressful because there are a lot of you. And I know you're in here anyway, but and in general with actors, don't get very angry with them for not responding to you right away. There's different age groups. There are issues with literally last night is a good example. I was surrounded by maybe 50, 60 people. I cannot talk to all of you at once. Actors cannot talk to all of you at once. These are issues that will get resolved with time and when we have more actors. And we cannot give everybody attention or we will be ignoring a majority. Like, if I have a cutscene right now with, like, I don't know, I'll say Karma. If I grabbed Karma and I had a cutscene with Karma, and then the next person walked up to me and I had a cutscene with them, there would be no LARP outside of cutscenes. Like, you guys would not be allowed to LARP. It would be boring. It would suck. And I don't want that. I want people to be able to interact as much as they can. I try to answer as many people as I can, but I am telling you, there is no favoritism from me. And people can vouch for me, walk up to random people. Cloud is a good example of this. Cloud lurked at Burger Thing. I play an Inquisitor. Cloud walked up to me and went, "Bro, you want a burger?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I want a burger." And lo and behold, they became friends. Like, you can be literally a nobody. I've had multiple surveyors befriend my characters. It's not favoritism. We're trying our best. And some people stand out to us, yes, because they actively continuously make an effort to talk to us. But if you get ignored once and don't approach us again, we're never going to know. The chat moves fast, even in 21+.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to go over during this meeting. I wanted to go grocery shopping today. I might still do it because it's kind of early. But I hope that this meeting kind of eased some of your concerns. Whether it be
Dolo.
about
Dolo, there's one more thing.
Addressed, I think. Yeah.
what is it?
I'll
Can you
forward it to you,
address,
Dolo. Hold on.
Yeah, do that.
There we go. I put it in the group chat.
I have peak art. Sorry, I need to say that.
Yeah, it's in the group chat, Dolo.
Oh. Something.
Yeah, I forwarded the message to Dolo, to everybody who pinged me or Dolo or was trying to get a reply out of it. Don't worry, I just forwarded that. We're gonna address it in a second here. Just let her read it.
So, moderation very soon is going to be going through reform. I'm not going to say why yet. You'll know. Well, why is because it's not as great as it could be. Moderation needs reform. The people who do not handle tickets properly, or maybe say something they should not in a ticket, or say something they should not in general, then they will be punished for it. I have recently demoted a member of Lore Team for things that they have said in general chat that were unacceptable. And he is likely going to get moderated for it too. But I want to hold our team accountable. Our team being moderation, management, Lore Team, anybody. And it's important for all of us to hold each other accountable. Stop saying uh-oh. Mod. Disgusting. Anyway. Oh, just to really quickly answer the sign cooldown thing, it's against Roblox TOS. They actually yelled at us for it because it was basically a bypass to the chat ban. We had to do a cooldown, or else we would have had to just straight up remove them. It sucks, but it's the best we could do.
Can I clarify real quickly?
Sure.
Roblox. Dolo is understating this very, very severely. Roblox did not just yell at us for it; they took down the game. The game was disabled. Roblox, they have a regulation regarding the chat restrictions. I understand that a lot of people don't agree with them. I personally don't, but unfortunately, this is Roblox's platform. We have to respect their rules, and so we're not allowed to have any method of communication other than chat. So the signs, while they are technically a bypass to this, they have a high cooldown so that Roblox does not kill us for having these things.
Yeah. They were mad.
So like our game got taken down. Our game can get taken down again in the future if we violate their policies. So if you guys could please stop suggesting that stuff. We want to, but we can't.
Yeah. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have them in the first place, and everybody would be able to talk to each other. But it's whatever. But back on track. I, in the coming weeks, look to reform moderation and hold them a little bit more accountable for their actions. There have been a lot of failures on the moderation team's part, and hopefully in the future, as time progresses and we are able to get more of these reforms out, things will be better. The moderation team is meant to serve the community, and they aren't doing a fantastic job at that right now like they could be. It's passable, but it's not up to my standard. So we're going to be doing better. I promise you that. We'll be a bit more transparent about how these reforms are also going to go about. Yeah. So, and yes, they are a little convenient, Dust. I think, I gave you flavor text, didn't I? I remember that. Anyway.
So, I apologize for interrupting you, but are you able to look through the messages I've sent?
Yes. Oh.
Like, was that clarified?
Yeah,
I don't remember. Okay.
We did. But yes, yes, all the mods are dying. So, okay, this is a good question about fillers. Fillers are events that are pre-planned. So when there is a filler ping, that is an event that we have planned out in advance. Whenever like Voss shows up to like yell at somebody because they did something, that's not a filler. A filler is a pre-planned lore team-based event. Yeah, me too. I'm Boss's biggest fan. Anyway, yeah. Oh yes, I do want to talk about that, Scrapper. Yeah, like cutscenes and stuff. Well, cutscenes aren't always scripted. It's just fillers are scripted. What would sessions be considered? Also scripted events. Sessions are usually things that push the narrative forward like a lot. Fillers are, filler events. I do want to address the familial roleplay that's been going around. I'm not super adverse to it, but I don't like okay, for instance, if you are someone's father and you came with your son to be a surveyor, that's okay. But adopting other surveyors or employees or actors or something, you're all adults that have known each other for like 6 months at the maximum. You really should not be doing that. It makes me genuinely feel very uncomfortable. Like, I don't think that sort of like adoption thing has a role in the game. Like, once again, I'm fine, perfectly fine, if like for instance you and someone else are like actual family. Yes, you can have like parental figures. So like, for instance, if you walked up to somebody, I'll look at tickets after this community meeting. Um, yeah, so found family's fine, but like you shouldn't really. So for instance, Kalison, don't call Diamond dad. I don't like that. Like you can
Erebus and Mr.
say
Secret, good example.
yes. Like you can be like, how do I explain this? Like you can say you're like a brother to me, or you're like a son to me, or like you're like a father to me, but don't like start saying like, oh, you're my actual mom or you're like my actual dad, unless you like have pre-planned like you both are actual family. Yeah.
Is it alright if I make a
Uh,
comment on this?
Go ahead, Tycho.
How are you guys going to confront that issue regarding on the actors side? Because I do notice a lot of actors doing that themselves.
Oh, I've already put a stop to most of it, I think. But I will make an announcement to actors, ensure they don't continue to do it. I thought I already did. I don't remember, but I will make sure and I will make an announcement about it. But once again, I want to preface: found family's okay. You can say like, "Oh, you're like a brother to me," blah blah blah. But just don't call somebody dad that you just met like 2 months ago. It's kind of weird. You're all adults.
In character,
I
that
do
is.
also, yeah, your character is. I do also want to say one more thing. Romance roleplay, since some people were confused. Romance roleplay is okay under like strict rules. Um, Romance roleplay is okay if as long as you are not doing like absurd public displays of affection. Like you can hold hands, you can hug, you can use PG-13 pet names like Deer, for instance, or Honey or something. That's fine. But like getting married in the game, like using it as your venue, that's not okay. Kissing is not okay. Anything in SFW is not tolerated, and you will be banned immediately because that is unacceptable. But if you want to, like, let's say there's two surveyors and they want to like date in lore, that's fine. It just can't be like it cannot be in SFW in any way, shape, or form. And yes, that applies to whispers. So if we have chat logs, so if you are doing bad things that you should not be doing, then we will ban you because it is against Roblox terms of service, and we will remove you from the community. I hope that answers some of y'all's questions.
Something serious was brought up by Artium.
Oh.
Artium?
Things. Why don't you can shoot me a DM? I'll talk to you about that.
For everybody else in the VC, on what Artyom just said, we're not going to be discussing stuff like that in a public setting.
Yeah,
because that's not where this is not a place to be airing out concerns and rumors and stuff. That are made against members. I can tell you this much. If there's anything valid against a player, I think Dolo has said this before. If there's anything valid against a player from a safeguarding perspective, and there's evidence to back it, people will be moderated. People will be banned. So on and so forth.
But thank you all for coming. I hope this eased up some of y'all's concerns. Um, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to approach either member of staff, lore team, management, anybody. We will gladly hear you out. If you don't want to approach us individually, open up a management ticket. We'll be happy to talk to you. Alex, all will be revealed when we start actually implementing the reforms. We have a decent idea of how to do it. It's just that we're waiting on something. I'm not really going to talk about IMS.
Oh, I forgot that I said I was going to mention something about that
We
briefly.
don't-
They're
I'm
no longer a part of the. They're no longer on Nadir anymore.
Yeah.
I can make it brief, Dolo. It's fine.
Basically, they were like using our game as their hospital roleplay without interacting with the story at all, and that kind of upset us. So we told them not to do that. Like they were literally using the in-game like medbay as like a way to like a hospital roleplay, like completely separate from like the universe and Nadir, and it's just kind of like, no. We like groups that exist that like within the setting. That's fine. But these people were basically refusing to interact with the main community, and it was just kind of. But I hope you guys feel better. If you guys have anything you want to say to me or anybody in private, feel free to reach out. You can make a ticket or just message us. We will respond to the best of our abilities. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Drink plenty of water.
So I'm gonna hijack you talking
I
if you
can't
don't mind.
believe these guys didn't let me talk about acting.
Yeah.
Okay. Regarding the surveyor stuff, oh my god, dude. Okay. We have a lot of stuff planned regarding server interaction in general, so don't worry, guys. Your gameplay is just not gonna be staring through the EXES, window. Don't worry, trust me. We got a lot of stuff planned.
Yeah, we have things planned for the near future. Yeah, this has been recorded by Jitter, so it'll be posted on YouTube sometime soon.
We're all working on a lot
Dolo.
of stuff.
Yep.
I did want to ask Dolo if it's okay, like, obviously nothing crazy, but if people want to ask me questions in a VC, is it okay if I answer some?
Sure, that's fine. Go for it.
Okay.
But yeah, have a good weekend, guys. Drink plenty of water. Play Zone Nadir in moderation. No.
Please go to bed if you need to go to bed.
Please go to sleep. Yes, please go to sleep at a reasonable time. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. How do I end this stage?
It's funny hearing that coming from you.
Oh, shut up, Jelly. I stayed up until 5 a.m. last night.